Jack, wow, what a week this has been. First of all, would you like to say anything about both Ernie and Marcel and the achievements that they've produced for this club?
Yeah, that's probably the main thing we need to address initially. Obviously, them both leaving, it was much of a surprise to me as everyone else. Came a bit of a shock last night. Obviously, they've left for different reasons. Different reasons for their own futures and their personal reasons. And although that is very sad for everyone, I need to sort of turn that into a positive and be slightly selfish and say it's worked out well for me, but taking nothing away from their personalities and what they've done for the club has allowed me to be in this position.
Having Ernie on hand at the club still must be really useful to you, especially with all that experience.
Yeah, definitely. You can put a label on it as director of football, but he'll have as much involvement as he wants. And he reminded me last night about the trophies behind me, so no pressure there. But no, as a whole, I've got the full support which he's had and which anyone would have with Matt and Ernie. Still got full support financially, and their experiences of business as well. He's going to help me out.
Someone looking from the outside in would say, cool, Jack Midson was only preparing to play on Saturday and now he's got this dual role coming up.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
Obviously, I've set out to play for as long as I can. I'm not going to say I'm going to retire, but it might come at a good time to relax from football slightly. I'm always going to keep myself fit and want to play football, but this has come at a good time. I'm certainly not going to sort of come away from this opportunity just to concentrate on playing, but I'll try and do both where I can. But I know to do the manager's role or a player manager's role properly, you need to concentrate on the things on the side rather than me playing at the moment. So I'll try and manage both in the best way possible.
Having helped with the coaching already, does that help with the changes in the dynamics of the background?
Yeah, it definitely does. And I spoke to Matt briefly. Even sort of an assistant manager's role or a manager's role, they need to know about this unique football club. And people say they don't want to drop this low playing, and I didn't want to. And it's slightly disrespectful to say that about Sheppey, not knowing the support they get, backing they get from obviously Ernie and Matt. It's just trying to get people down here, fans to see, players to see, to realise what a great club it is. So I'll relish in the opportunity to do that. The past is the past, where I've played and where I've been assistant manager. It is now putting efforts into this football club and maybe taking that forward and experiencing the higher levels with this club.
You mentioned assistant manager, and one of the questions I dare say the supporters will have is, what's your coaching team going to look like?
I'm certainly not going to come in and bring a load of people in. I'm in no rush to hire an assistant. We've got good coaches here and good people that do a lot of jobs around the football club, as they do with every football club, and they are the pinnacle and the backbone behind any club. So I'm certainly not going to make any changes at the moment. Marcel and Ernie have built a fantastic squad and a backroom staff, and I'll be a part of that. I'm not going to step away from coaching. I love coaching. I'm certainly not going to say I step back and watch. No, I'll be fully involved in all the coaching. I think that would be good for the football club with some consistency in staff. I will look at sort of an assistant role, and I've had plenty of calls, as you can imagine, but certainly in no rush to get anyone in. It needs to be the right fit for the football club, for me, and for the whole area. They need to know about the area around Sheppey United.
In terms of playing style, are we likely to see any immediate changes?
No, and again, not going to certainly make any changes. Fantastic season last year. I didn't play as much as I would have liked to because of my injury, but I was fully involved in the coaching setup, and it set us in good stead. So it is going to be a tougher league. There'll be some slight tweaks which they've made already. They've made that, so in that sense it's quite easy. But I will put my stamp on it, but certainly won't be any immediate visible changes.
One thing that this club is thriving on and always looking to develop is that young talent. We've got football from under 7s all the way to 18s. We've got good under 23s set up, and we've got the academy starting in September as well, which obviously you're a key part of. How do you see all that talent drifting into the first team?
Yeah, and again, it's probably come at a perfect time. So there's no sort of, I wanted to concentrate on playing, but doing the academy stuff from September. It's come at a perfect time, and for these young lads coming through, what an opportunity for them. You know, people can talk about giving them opportunities, and now I can physically show them. You know, if they're good enough and put the work in, they'll be training with the first team. Saturday morning, I took the session, and there was 3 lads in there training, and they're 16 years old. So, you know, what an opportunity for them, and for the younger age groups to see them getting that opportunity. You know, something to aim for. I know they get drafted in by sort of higher clubs further away, but this is a fantastic football club, and they should be looking to play for Sheppey first team first, especially the local lads and ladies. If they push on and want to play higher, then great. But this is a great stepping stone for them to aim at a good level. And I've been fully involved with the youth team anyway, and there's been some great stuff already set up. So again, fantastic opportunity for me to do what's already been built, and then I'll add my own stamp on that and give them something else to aim for through my experiences as well.
Obviously, there's been recruitment over the summer, and we brought in some what looks like some really good players. What's your thoughts on what we brought in?
Yeah, and again, it's another part of the job which is not always nice for players coming in and players going, but and again, I won't make any rash changes. The squad has been built fantastically from Marcel and Ernie. Great squad, and I think people do think that there's an endless pot of money at Sheppey United, or there certainly isn't, and I knew that anyway, but from the outside they seem to think that is. Nothing will change in the part of that. I've dealt with budgets before, and that's another job that I need to look at. It's never nice for people to go and new people to come in, but as part of the job, I've experienced it before. We'll look at the squad, but no, again, the squad has been built fantastically, and there won't be any rash changes.
And then finally, with the season upon us, what's your message to the supporters out there?
And again, they've been fantastic, and it will be a tougher season. I think they all know that. They're not unrealistic that we're going to win most games like we did last year. It's a lot stronger league, but we have to aim high. Certainly most people say mid-table is realistic, and it is. It would be silly to say that just survive this year. You know, survival is the key thing, but you know, we're a lot better than that. But it will be tougher this year. Sort of in our minds, you always have to go in and aim for playoffs, because that is the key. But you know, looking at sort of 10 teams in there, they're fantastic, and you can't turn up at any ground next year thinking we're just going to roll teams over. It's not going to happen this year. But that's a test for me and the squad and the staff to get some good points throughout the year and consolidate sometimes in draws. Like last year we always went for the win, even if we was losing or drawing. So we have to be slightly more defensive this year, but taking nothing away from our attacking football, which has been our strength last year and will be our strength this year. So, you know, mid-table will be a great finish for us in a new league, in the heights of the Isthmian League, and then we'll go from there from next season.
Jack Midson, player manager. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.